2025 pre-sentence investigation report, as well as the sentencing memorandum filed by the defendant on May 29th of 2025, as well as all of the letters that have been submitted. And it's the court's saying this is no recommendation except the state has retained the right to argue facts and circumstances.
Yes, sir.
And is there going to be a victim speaker with you?
There is Goodwin's here. He's just in the anteroom. He's coming in right now, so we're going to ask that he speak last for the statute.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I kind of spoke to opposing counsel, I even spoke to Aaron about it. One of the reasons we're not making a recommendation as to sentencing is we kind of acknowledge that, look, this is someone who doesn't have a record, right? Who has never kind of done anything like this before. But the concern I've always had is when you look at the facts of the case, they are serious. This is not a situation where maybe an unhappy wife simply kind of made a fleeting text that said, "Ugh, like I can't stand my marriage, like I wish he was just gone," or something along those lines. It was far more than that. The concerns that I have about the case are when Mr. Amato's phone is seized and they look into it, what you can see is on October 2nd of 2024, there is a text exchange between Ms. Goodwin and Mr. Amato, who is a convicted murderer out of Florida, where they are expressing their love for one another. She is acknowledging that her husband would never accept a divorce. She says things like, "I'm so anxious, I just can't believe this is happening, like, what the F? How did I get to this point? Am I a bad person?" And when Mr. Amato asks, "Well, why do you say that?" And she's like, "Because I'm choosing to end his existence, not divorce." Those are very serious comments. When you couple that with, on that same date, she is relaying information that Mr. Goodwin was in Barstow, staying at a Best Western, provided him pictures of what he looked like, the car that he was driving, and that there's discussions that Mr. Amato's buddy named Gordo is going to take care of the situation, the facts become more serious. And even from those text messages that talk about setting aside, $11,000 for Gordo, and ultimately this investigation reveals about $60,000 is sent from Ms. Goodwin over to Mr. Amato, or associates of Mr. Amato. And I know the sentencing memo kind of talks about, well, maybe some of that was blackmail, but when you have the following day, you have Amato on that phone texting Gordo being like, "Hey, is it done yet? Has it been done?" All of that's very serious. And the one thing I didn't see in that report was simply, at no point does Ms. Goodwin ever try to claw it back. At no point does she say something like, "You know what, I was just kidding, I don't really want to go through," like, you don't ever see anything along those lines. And that really is ultimately the concern for the state about the seriousness of it. And so look, whatever you think is appropriate is certainly appropriate. I just think at the end of the day, we don't see these solicitations very often. Like, I handle murders, we don't really get solicitation cases that often. But there's a lot of there. That's a lot of detail, a lot of locations, and a lot of money that I think elevates this to a certain level of consideration. Lastly, I'm just going to say, look, I'm not going to speak for Aaron. I think Aaron is going to share with you how this has really impacted him, and I don't think I can do that justice, but I will submit it to the discretion of the court.
Your Honor, and I'd just like to comment briefly on the facts. I know we wrote a longer sentencing memo, and I appreciate your patience because I know you read it. With regards to the facts, there is, to me, a clear line where Ms. Goodwin had abandoned the conspiracy. We may disagree, and I don't know if it will do with the state, whereas who initiated the idea of, the murder. But with Ms. Goodwin, it's clear that as of November, she had completely distanced herself from the group. She had moved on from it. There was very limited contact. She had nothing further to do. No efforts were made, and the phone exchange ends. I'd also comment, and I know we do in the sentencing memo, that neither Mr. Amato or Mr. Gordo, as we sit here, have ever been charged with a crime. So it's just Ms. Goodwin who sits here today, and as far as I know, there's no intention to ever file charges against either of those two individuals. I think it is clear that Ms. Goodwin, after the initial, payment, was being extorted. that she was threatened. There was a call to the police that was outlined in the sentencing memo, and that was the reason for the additional payments. It wasn't a continued, I want to keep paying more and more. We really got to make this happen. There was the initial payment, and after that, the circumstances had substantially changed. But as the state mentioned, and you look today, Ms. Goodwin is a person who prior to this had never been in any kind of trouble of any kind. She did what you would expect someone to do when they are arrested for something. She took full responsibility. As I think we're 92 days from the day she was arrested to the day we're before Your Honor, which on a case like that, I would submit is very fast, and that's because Ms. Goodwin said, I don't want to make this any tougher for Mr. Goodwin. I want to take responsibility. I know what I did was wrong. Again, as we sit here, you can see the back row. That's Ms. Goodwin's family, some friends as well. She's got tremendous family support. They love her. They would have gladly, this was not an unreasonable bail that could never be posted. She recognized that there should be some punishment element to this as well. So she sat in custody for 92 days when the family would have gladly posted a bond to get her out of custody, but she wanted to come before the court and let everyone here know that she understands there are consequences for her action. We would submit that she's an excellent candidate for probation. Many of those reasons are outlined in the sentencing memo. She's not going to reoffend. She's never been in trouble before. She's going to move. She has no need to have further contact with Mr. Goodwin. They don't have children in common. She's going to move. If she is given the opportunity of probation, she would immediately try to transfer out of state, live with her family, continue with her education. We talked in the sentencing memo about her physical health. She has very serious health issues. She's not going to be able to get the proper treatment while she is in custody. It's very painful. She lives her whole life in pain. She has one of the most painful illnesses you can have. If Your Honor felt that she did need a little bit more, we don't think 92 days has gotten her attention. She's never going to be in front of Your Honor for any kind of violation. She's never going to have any further problems. We, of course, would understand there would be stringent conditions. She has no contact with Mr. Goodman, and she has no need to ever have contact with them. We would just ask the court to give her one opportunity on probation for someone who's lived the life that she's lived, has one terrible mistake, but that's the only mistake she's made, and that she immediately tried to take full responsibility for it. Before she was arrested, she had clearly abandoned any efforts to be part of that conspiracy, and we think she's worthy of probation, and I'd like to have her say a few words as well.
Firstly, and most importantly, I would like to apologize to Aaron. I'm so immensely sorry for the pain and anxiety I've caused you, and the betrayal you undoubtedly and rightfully feel by my actions. I need you to know that I will always hold love for you. I genuinely pray you find your joy and peace again, and I will bow out of your life forever to hopefully ease that process. I'm sorry I broke us, and I am consumed with regret every day. My absolute promise to you is that you will never see or hear from me. I intend to leave the state of Nevada, and you and anyone else will never be in danger of me ever again. Secondly, I'd like to apologize to my parents. My actions are not a reflection of how you raised me with unwavering love and support, and I know I'm better than this. Next, I'd like to apologize to the court. I recognize and understand my stupidity, the terrible nature of my crime against Aaron, my regrettable choices, and monumental lapse in judgment. This is my rock bottom, and I'll never forgive myself. Prior to my arrest, I was taking steps toward mending my marriage and correcting my mistakes that led me here. Now, having spent 92 days in jail, I've had plenty of time to reflect on my foolishness, and I'm that much more committed to never getting in trouble again and doing better in every aspect of my life, especially with my mental health. I am truly ashamed, embarrassed, and disappointed with myself, and am deeply and sincerely remorseful for my actions. This is not a reflection of who I am, nor the person I want to be.
Yes, state will call Aaron Goodwin.
Madam Clerk will swear you in. Can you raise your hand?
You do solemnly swear or affirm, under the pains and penalties of perjury, the testimony you're about to give in this action will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yeah.
Can you please state and spell your first and last name for the record?
Aaron Goodwin, ARONGODWIN.
Thank you.
Sorry. Your Honor, for 7 years I thought I was in the most loving relationship and marriage with my best friend. Someone who I trusted whole heart and laughed with every day. Someone who made me feel like I was her one and only. I was loyal to her and did whatever I could to make her happy. I thought we were something very special, and so did everyone else. After finding out she was cheating on me in September of last year with multiple men, including the man going by the name Vincent, who turned out to be Grant Amato, I gave her the option of divorce where we could try to work it out because I love her so much. She felt so bad, and I didn't want to lose me. Every day she made me feel more special, and she was so sorry. At least that's what she told me. Now discovering she put a hit out to kill me more than once. Got blackmailed and spent almost all our savings to keep it quiet. And fell more in love with Amato. They even got spiritually married. And now I was called the first husband. They talked until she was arrested. And she sought his help to kill me. Sorry. This has led me to fear my life. I've hired armed security for weeks, not knowing it was over or not. Always looking over my shoulder and having to go through therapy and even trying to understand any of it. It's like a heartbreak no one should go through in life. I can't trust anything anymore. I cry every day. I feel so alone. She grew me into a person I never was. I will always wonder why. But worst of all, she lied to me every day. I didn't know about any of the murder plot, the hitman, or the blackmail until the detectives told me after she was arrested. Now behind bars, she's trying to manipulate through lawyers and trying to silence me and not come here today. So I wouldn't be standing here. In honor of, Your Honor, this person over here, I don't know at all. Not one bit. The fact that this person did all this to me with no worry, no care, or love in her heart for me. I will never feel safe or be the same because of what she did. Especially when she gets out one day. She claims she's remorseful now that she's been caught. But there at no time before did she ever try to stop this from happening. She tried to have me killed. She gave my location to people. Truly believed we were tried. I truly believe with people she truly believed were going to harm me. She even asked for the updates on the murder. And this was all when I was just a loving husband, I thought. Whether she got minimum or maximum time, I still won't feel safe whenever she's released. I feel like this deserves prison time. I don't know. So I just leave it in your hands, Your Honor. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
By virtue of your plea of guilty on April 22nd of 2025, in accordance with the laws of the state of Nevada, you hereby adjudged guilty of the offense conspiracy to commit murder, category Bravo felony. In addition to the $25 administrative assessment fee, $150 DNA testing fee to include testing for genetic markers, and $3 administrative assessment fee, the court does now sentence you to a minimum term of 36 months and a maximum term of 90 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections. What is the correct term, sir?
92 days, Your Honor.
92 days correct term, sir. Thank you. And all the names counsel, please. Have a great day. Is anyone else ready?